Hello, everybody, and welcome to Back and Forth. I'm your host, Gecko Man, and sitting beside me is our co-host, Rogue Gambit, the man who cannot be bought, bullied, reasoned, or negotiated with.
I do that. If I allow myself to go down into that place, I'll never come back. It's a now.
Will you stop it? Oh my goodness.
That's my voice. Gotta roll with it.
Well, as I cannot understand a single word you're saying.
You understand me all the other episodes, don't you?
What is your problem? All right. Well, today...
Engines.
All right.
It's literally like not even picking.
Let's get into what we're supposed to be doing here.
Talking like this.
Today we're going to be ranking down our top 5 Batman movies, animated and live action.
That's right.
Thank goodness. So how we want to do this? You want to go ahead and start us off today?
Well, first off, I want to say a few words.
In memory of Batman?
Yes. This was maybe the hardest list I've ever had to come up with. It was
Really?
so hard. I love so many Batman movies,
There are definitely a lot of good ones.
and they've just killed it so much with the animated movies.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I think I had I had basically a top 4, no, I had a top 3, and then like 10 movies tied for 4. And I had to decide 2 of them. So yes, this list was very difficult. I have a lot of honorable mentions we'll get to.
Oh, you have a lot of honorable mentions.
Yes.
Well, that's kind of funny because I have 0 honorable mentions, so I really hope you don't take offense to that.
But want to just go 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1 with honorable mentions right 4, 1. All right, let's go. What is your number 5?
Number 5 is Batman Begins.
Okay, why is Batman Begins number 5?
Well, it just does not compare to the other movies I have placed right now. But it is number 5, and why it's ahead of any other Batman movie is because it's actually not that bad of a live-action Batman movie. Like,
It's great.
definitely has this feeling of Gotham in it. Definitely,
Yes.
as you said before.
They portrayed Gotham really well.
Mm-hmm. And I definitely... I want to say I liked Ra's al Ghul, but at the same time, I wasn't the biggest fan of him.
How do you say that? Did you say Ra's al Ghul? Yes. Liam Neeson, I think, kills as Ra's al Ghul. Like I said a little bit in previous podcasts when we talked about Batman.
You mean episodes?
Episodes, yes. We in the Dark Knight trilogy, I think they did a really good job of making amazing movies that showed a lot of aspects from the comics, like Gotham, and a lot of the characters though were not exactly drawn from the comics. They took a lot of changes, including Batman and Ra's al Ghul in that movie. But I really liked Ra's al Ghul in that movie.
Yeah, he definitely was very good. Like probably the best Ra's al Ghul we'll get so far.
Yeah, it'd be tough to pick him over a couple of the animated ones, but yeah.
It would not saying because we've never gotten him in a live action.
No, that's the only live action
Yeah.
we've got him in, yeah.
So I'm hoping I would like to see Ra's al Ghul show up again in a live
Sure
action.
thing. Yeah.
But I'm also scared if they choose another actor, could
Right.
ruin Ra's al Ghul. But yeah, definitely good.
What kept it from being higher then?
Just because I think what kept it from being, goodness, I can't talk today. What kept it from becoming higher is the fact that I guess it's just because it's another origin story for me. So,
Okay.
and it also took quite a while to get into Batman.
Okay.
So we didn't have a whole lot of Batman in that movie, but we did have a whole lot of how Batman started, which I was fine with, but I kind of want to see more shanking.
Sure.
All right. Any other questions you have for my number 5?
No, I mean, I'll get a little bit more into that movie later on.
Oh, great.
My number 5 is Mask of the Phantasm.
I actually have not seen that Batman movie, so I could not rank it.
Yeah, there was a lot vying for the spot. I kind of just had to go with like old trusty, for number 5 because like I could have put, like I said, 10 movies in this spot, but I went with an older one that just the storytelling in that movie is so well done, and the villain, the Phantasm, just perfect. The way that they border on like truth and like fiction in that movie. If that Since you haven't seen it, I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah.
Because there's like twists. I did not know you had not seen this movie, so I had a lot planned to talk about this movie, but now I'm gonna shorten it down a little bit. But basically, they really play on like what you as the viewer sees as real, and they do such a good job of that. Where like even though it's just a Batman movie, you almost feel like Batman could be the villain. Like that's how well the storytelling is told in that movie, and that's really what just like keeps it's very. The sound. Oh, I love the soundtrack to that movie too. It's very similar to the animated series Batman soundtrack, which by far my favorite animated series. Like it's so good, and the soundtrack just superb. The storytelling similar. Of course, it's older, so the animation, if you don't like that early 2000s, late 90s feel, you're not going to love it. But I really like that animation. I think it fits the style. What else could I say without giving anything away?
How about this? Do you want to tell me how well they like portrayed the villain and stuff?
Yes, the villain. Oh, that's what I can't really talk about because who the villain is a huge twist.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. So
how about does it? Can you give anything for like how Batman faced off with the villain?
So Batman, I really like how he was very much portrayed as a detective, not just a superhero in that movie. And he's having to, along with us, try and figure out who this villain is and how this villain is capable of doing what they're doing. And yeah.
Okay. Man, so really they go on more of a detective route than
there's of course the
fisticuffs,
as must be. But yeah, he's very much like a detective.
I definitely enjoy.
I don't know if have you seen Batman Rise of Batwoman? No, Batman. Yeah, something Batwoman with the three Batwomen.
I've seen that one.
I thought you had seen that one. So it's very similar like that, where he's having to like figure stuff out.
Yeah.
Very, very, very similar like vibe to it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it
that
in
one
like
as well. That's
a long time.
First honorable mention.
Yeah. So yeah, like I do like the way Batman movies where they portray Batman more as a detective than the fisticuffs crime fighter, which he does do the fisticuffs, like which I am all for, but I'm more with detective work.
All right, moving on to your number 4 then.
Number 4. Now, you might have something to say about this one because I have said this is so. When I first watched it, this was my favorite Batman movie for a while.
Okay.
Batman Gotham by Gaslight.
That was another one of my honorable mentions. It is a very good movie.
Yeah, very good. The reason I like it is it does take this aspect of like detective work to it.
Yep.
There is some parts that I feel like don't really fit well with it. Maybe like possibly like the motorcycle scene.
Yeah, I like. So of course it's in a different time, right?
Yeah.
It's turn of the century, 19th century or 20 turn of the 20th century, and set in London, not New York. Very different. Set with Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
Time. So yeah, the investigation, very interesting in that. But yes, they do take some liberties with his tech.
Yeah.
Of course, because trying to set his tech in that time period. And so yes, the motorcycle was a little over the top.
Yeah, but it's also understandable because he is like I'm assuming because he is like this billionaire.
Right. He does have the money for it.
He does have the money for it. He definitely has the knowledge to possibly build something like that in that century.
Yep.
Not saying he couldn't, but it just definitely felt like it was so like you said in the Batman where he brings out his Batmobile and just we wish to see him building it. I would have liked to see him actually building it.
Yeah.
That would have been interesting.
That would have been very interesting.
But I also like I really, really enjoyed the fact that we had no idea who Jack the Ripper was.
They did a really good job of hiding the twist. The twist was, I don't want to give anything away to anybody who hasn't seen it, but the twist is spectacular.
Oh, so good.
Not the greatest, but it is very good.
Well, like I wasn't expecting it to be who it was.
I wasn't either.
But yeah, that is anything you want to
say. A very good movie. Yeah, that's about all
I mean, I guess also I do like a lot of the fight scenes in it with Jack the Ripper.
Yeah,
and
I like how they did like almost him hunting himself in a way. This guy was just like always right on the just getting away from him type of thing, which you don't necessarily see with a Batman style hero very often.
Mm-hmm. It definitely was interesting. And what did you think of the take on Catwoman in it?
It was one of my. I've never been a big fan of most depictions of Catwoman, especially live action. They've all been garbage. But I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, it was one of my favorites.
Okay. Shall we move on, or do we want to say anything else for this?
I do. The only thing I do really like Batman in that time period. Like putting him in that time period was really. They just did a very good job of that.
I also like how Bruce Wayne was in that.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne was pretty cool too.
I loved it.
In that movie, I also really like a lot of the dialogue.
Oh yeah,
a lot of the dialogue is very well done.
Oh yeah, even especially a lot of the times with Batman and what's his name? Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah.
If he was commissioner. Was he commissioner in that movie?
And Harvey Dent, right?
Yeah.
His friend in that one.
Yeah. Harvey Dent. Yeah. I also liked it how we see a lot of Batman villains in that.
Yep.
Because we see Harvey Dent. We see, what's his name? The doctor dude. I forget his name. Isn't he a Batman villain? The psychologist or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I forget his name, but we see him. And I think we even see, like, I want to say we see like not a Joker style.
Yeah, they did a lot of very similar to a lot of his villains for sure. That they did all well. All right, we talked about that quite a bit.
Yeah, we did.
It's a great movie. Number 4 for me, I have Batman Year One.
Oh, Batman Year One. Do you want me to say this again?
Well, you haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it. I have looked at it so many times and be like, I gotta watch that, but I'll be like, let's watch something else.
Yeah, the reason. So this is one that it's basically tied with so many others like Mask of the Phantasm. But
what makes it so so
why
good?
Put it first of all, why I put this one in and not something else is its rewatchability.
Really?
I cannot tell you how many times I've watched this, and it's short. It's like maybe 90 minutes. I've watched this thing so many times because it is just beautiful. The animation's different. It's very much. I don't know if you've seen like Gotham Knight or it's in the same storyline as that.
I don't remember the Gotham Knight. Okay. I may not have seen it.
That's another one I honorable mentions. Oh
my goodness!
But yeah, it's very very similar. Like it's this definitely computer generated, but has this very like drawn vibe to it, where it's like almost jumpy.
Really.
So I really like the animation. Once again, soundtrack superb. The story really good. Oh, the characters are what really, really sells it for me. So this is my favorite depiction of Catwoman in it. She is depicted very well. It's actually, so just watching the Batman, they tell the same, very similar story with Catwoman. She almost identical story to what was said in the Batman. They drew almost fully Catwoman's story from Year One.
Oh. Okay.
Almost like they tweak things here and there to, fit it to live action, fit it to the time period and stuff. But it's very, very similar. Of course, you're seeing Batman at the earliest stages of him going into becoming Batman. So you get to see, it's a little bit of an origin story. It delves pretty well straight into him being Batman though. Another character they don't kill, but they do very, very well. Jim Gordon. They had this incredible scene where he's pulls somebody over. I think I don't remember, but he's having to arrest this person, but this person wants to beat him up, beat him up. And you learn they actually get his origin story right, where he is a Green Beret.
A what?
Green Beret military. It's the special forces for the Marines.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
He and he just beats the crap out of the guy. It's so great. And they do a lot of like with almost every character, mainly Batman and Gordon, but also other characters where you go into like their thought processes, and they do that really, really well as well.
Really? So
The depiction of Alfred's really good too.
what's the year of this animation?
The year one came out 2000.
So after Phantasm?
Yeah, I think it was a couple years after.
Okay.
It might even be later than I'm thinking. I can't remember. But yeah, it's a little bit later. But it's set like the 80s.
Oh, so definitely an older time for
a little
the Batman.
older. Yeah.
Okay. So that's kind of interesting. And you said the animation style was
It's unique.
It's unique.
Especially for DC. There's definitely other movies that have done similar animation, but yeah, for DC, I think it and Gotham Knight are the only ones that have that animation style.
Okay. Man, now I need to really watch these.
Those
now.
both are superb.
All right. Then anything else for this?
I think
I have any questions.
What's your number 3?
All right. Well, my number 3.
Oh, before you get into that, Batman Killing Joke, another honorable mention I'll throw out there.
How many honorable mentions do you have?
Quite a few.
It's like 4 pages long.
Could be if I wanted it to be. Are you ready for your number 3?
All right, sorry. I thought you were going to talk something about your honorable mention.
Oh,
there.
Killing Joke is great. The comic is one of my favorite comics. They definitely take their liberties, but it is good for sure.
I tried watching it. Difficult for me to watch for some reason.
I mean, it's different. It's for sure. It's very different.
Okay. Okay. Well, my number 3 is Batman Hush.
All right. Good one for sure.
I absolutely enjoyed it.
Honorable mention for me, Batman Hush.
Yeah. My goodness. This means I'm really going to watch your Batman movies.
Oh, they're good.
Yeah. So why it's number 3 is, one, I've never read the Batman Hush comics or anything like
I
that.
actually have not fully read that comic either. I've read bits and pieces though.
Yeah. I just loved a lot of the mystery to it.
They did do a really good job with that. Yeah.
And not only that, they do kind of this good job of like Batman facing off against so many powerful opponents in that.
Yep.
Even though his main opponent wasn't that powerful.
Right.
So I thought it was kind of interesting to watch. Like, someone who isn't that powerful is using the most like powerful opponents.
Yep.
To fight him, like he uses Superman.
The way that the villain manipulates everything in that movie is very, very interesting. Puts him in some, Batman in some tough situations. So you really get to see Batman being Batman, trying to get out of all these very difficult situations, and you get to see him once again, like having to be detective and figure out who this villain is actually. And on top of that, you see Batman fighting against, a lot of times I don't love it when like they put heroes against villains that are basically themselves, where they're really similar skill set, really similar type of mind, and they do that, but they do that really well. Where like Batman isn't just fighting him where they're equally physical, but they're like equally in this mental, and that's like if Batman was a villain, that's who he'd be, right? He would be like he's not going to just go fight himself. He's going to be sending Superman. He's going to, So that was really cool to see.
And I wasn't the biggest fan. I don't know if I was the biggest fan of Catwoman in that one.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was kind of, I thought it was kind of interesting how they brought Catwoman back, because all the from this Batman movie is in a whole DC movie universe. So I thought it was interesting that they brought her back and had the way she was towards Batman, but I don't know if I was just the biggest fan of it, comparing her to like Gotham by Gaslight, or I guess from what I understand it, year one.
Yeah, they were continuing a story that they've been telling through different movies, including one of my honorable mentions, Bad Blood. Sorry,
you have to do that, don't you?
And then like the Flashpoint movies and Justice League Dark and all that. And so they did a good job of bringing her into it. But yeah, I felt like she was a little bit forced in the way that like
forced.
she was, I don't want to give anything away, but she was never like controlled by this villain ever. Like I really thought she could have been used a lot better if like she was like towing the line like she does, like between good and evil more.
She definitely, I do know now I don't want to spoil anything. I don't think it will, but let's go into this real fast. She definitely, at the beginning of meeting her, she Poison Ivy has control over her.
Right. Yeah.
Like that was fine. It was just we just get that moment with her being controlled by the main villain. But yeah, other than that, like it's a pretty good movie. I would definitely watch that again, and
for sure. Yeah.
Definitely a good movie. What about
number 3?
Yeah.
Batman Under the Red Hood.
Really? I was fully expecting you to put that at number 1.
A number 1?
Yeah.
You think I'm gonna put that number 1 ahead of these next? No, wow. I thought you would know exactly what my number 1 and number 2 were.
I should have known, but part of me was telling me that that you were going to put...
this movie definitely could be number 2, but it's not. It is number 3 because, well, I'll first say why I love it. Why I love it so much. First off, Red Hood is one of my favorite villains / heroes / anti-heroes, however you want to describe him, in all of comics. Love the Red Hood comics, or the Batman Red Hood comics. And they do such a good job of bringing him to life. But what like puts it ahead of all the other, this is by far my favorite DC animated movie. There's a big gap here between 4 and 3. Like there's a big gap because the animation style and just smoothness of all of it is so beautiful. And the way that like you see Batman's mind working through the way he moves, if that makes any sense.
I know it.
Because like in that animation, how like just smooth it is, like everything happens and then like it happens, right? But it's not jerky like a lot of like drawn animation is. And like the fight scenes are just
especially
gorgeous.
especially in the final fight as well. Like
let's not get there first. Let's talk about the first couple times we see them, right? The chase scene when he's chasing him down, when he grapples him, he turns around, cuts it before it even goes taut.
Clean.
Crashes down, disappears. The motorcycle chase scene, the first fight scene between Batman and Red Hood, where they're going back and forth when he figures out who he is. Don't want to give anything away if anybody doesn't know who Red Hood is. I would be surprised. One of the like most spoiled reveals of all time. But the fight, the reveal, like that whole fight scene is just so smooth. It literally feels like a live action fight. Like in the way it's shot too. They do some of the cut fight. They also do some of the wide angled more of an Eastern style fight. The use of weapons in it, so well done.
Man. And not only that, we also get a good sight of like a lot of their equipment, like how they keep it and how they use it.
And I've watched this movie a lot of times. Some of the things like I picked up, like this, they like, even though it's animated, that's what I'm saying. It like feels like a live action fight. Is there's little things like you see Batman's hand sliding in when he takes this. You know, you see Batman placing that on him. If you watch that movie enough times, like it does such a good job of not missing anything.
Wow.
And then of course the story, so good. The reveal we already mentioned, but then the reveal of why he's doing what he's doing, so good.
Oh yeah.
And then the final scene, best. It is the. It's top 3, top maybe 2 Batman scenes. Just scenes is that final scene with the villain there, with certain other character there, with Batman there.
Yeah, and just them talking is
my goodness.
Like I feel like a lot of times if you do that right, like just how they do it in Under the Red Hood, like if they talk for their final moments in it, they could have easily done it. Where they could have
been a fight. Yeah.
But they do so well.
And then just like seeing him, like Batman being stuck. He's completely stuck in this situation, right?
Yeah.
Like the villain set it up so that he can't get out of it. And he has, like, you can see his mind work, like, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of this? But I'm stuck. Another thing that makes this movie so great, talk about other characters that are in this movie. Black Mask. His character is so good.
I love Black Mask.
And the animation of Black Mask is so good. The crime organizations that they show there, just like the way that they're set up, are so good. Watching Red Hood just dismantle him is beautiful.
Man, he could sure run faster something.
Yeah. Ra's al Ghul also done really well.
Oh yeah.
I don't get to see him much, but he's done really well.
Oh yeah. Like I'm a small fan of Ra's al Ghul as a Batman villain.
I really like him.
And I did like him in Under the Red Hood. How about, here's a question. What did you think of a lot of the shots, or how it felt with a lot of the camera shots? Not
So much great camera work in that. And that's what I'm
especially-
saying. Like, it felt so real, like a live action movie. There's so many camera shots, whether it be the camera shot of Red Hood outside the window of Black Mask's office when there's a little zoom in, then the snap cut, or the fight scenes. So much great work. Or the last scene when they show both sides, right, with somebody in the middle, right?
Yeah.
And then they're going back and forth. They even do like an over the shoulder shot. So many good shots that you never see in animated movies.
Yeah, and if I may say, like, I do see, I'm more of a big fan of animated than live action most of the time, and so I do have this better feeling of like a lot of camera work in animated.
Yeah.
Camera work, more like animation style, where they choose to put the camera.
Right.
I felt like if I say this, that final scene in that room in a way felt claustrophobic.
Yes.
It was so good.
And then when they bring it, like classic Alfred Hitchcock moment, bringing in a bomb just to ratchet up the intensity. Oh my god, so good. Yeah, I don't really want to say much more because I'm just gonna give stuff away if I keep talking about it. But anything else? Any other questions? Oh, I will say this is why it's not number 2 or number 1. First off, the way that in the writing, the way that they write Nightwing out of the story to keep him to make sure it's just Batman and the villain made Nightwing feel useless, right? He just shows up to injure himself, literally. And they could have done it a little bit better, in my opinion, where Red Hood actually injures him and show like he gets in a fight with Red Hood first, and Red Hood puts him out so that like he's out for a while. Would made so much more sense to show the power of Red Hood right away. Like he's actually somebody who can go toe to toe with Batman. Yeah. But instead, the way that they did it, just felt cheesy in a way, and just like, all right, well, we want this just to be Batman and the villain, so we're not gonna have Nightwing here. What do we do? Oh, let's just have him randomly hurt his leg. Kind of.
Yeah. I definitely see where you're.
And so just saying. That, and then just how good the other two movies are, or what puts them above. But yeah, that's just one story writing aspect of it that I will say is a little bit of a negative.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well,
all right. Moving on to your number 2. Yes, we just talked about that for a very long time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it depends because I do have something that. Yeah. Number 2 is actually The Dark Knight.
Okay. Well, I will not. I will refrain from losing my mind that you put that number 2.
Well, see, like I said, I have more love for animated stuff than live action, but I do like live action. There's a lot of good live action movies, a lot of good live action shows out there. The Dark Knight, I felt like did a very good job with Joker, with Batman, with the crime lords. Thing is, why I don't put it up is Gotham.
Okay.
Like, Gotham didn't feel like the Gotham in Batman Begins to me. It felt like just New York City, cleaner streets, cleaner.
Sure.
But, I do like how Joker is like this. Just a good. Oh, I just loved Joker in that movie. Great character.
Yeah, he's spectacular. You cannot.
Are you trying to hold your?
Well, I'm about to talk about this movie a lot more. Let's just say.
All right. Yeah, and I like how. Well, yes, I wasn't a big fan of how dogs were able to take down Batman so quickly.
I like that. I like that scene a lot.
Okay, you like it?
Yeah.
Well, that's understandable.
Well, we can go into that. What did you think about Batman's tech in that movie?
His what?
Tech.
I actually thought it was pretty ingenious. It was definitely like a very interesting way of taking Batman's tech to another level.
I agree. Like, I love his the way he goes after
the dude in Japan.
Yeah. And just the way he gets there, the way his bat, you see him finally glide in his bat suit.
Oh, that was so
And
good.
the fight spectacular. The whole storytelling aspect of him getting there and getting back, just beautiful.
Yeah. So yeah, like even all that is great. I did like how we were able to get out of Gotham and to another city, even though it still kind of felt the same in a way, but at the same time it didn't, like, if you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. I don't want to get into this because it sounds like it is, and I do know it's in your list somewhere.
Yeah. So number 2 for me is Batman Begins.
Yeah, no, I was kind of expecting that.
And we all now know number 1. It should be number 1 on everyone's list. But anyways, number 2, Batman Begins. This is basically, we've talked about it a little bit. I'll just add a little bit more. I love that origin story of Batman. It is so well done. The just overall story arc of Batman in that movie, where he like is just so well told. With yes, Gotham. He's like almost a depiction of Gotham, right? Like this guy who influenced so much by Thomas Wayne, right? Thomas Wayne's death puts him over. He's about to lose it. He thankfully is saved from completely murdering somebody. Then he gets to go see the depravity of Gotham, right?
Yeah.
Then he goes on a quest. I absolutely love every minute of him in, oh my gosh, I almost said Comertage. All right. Wherever he goes, and all his the training is beautiful.
Oh yeah,
you're skilled, but this is not a dance.
Yeah,
warm your chest. Your arms will take care of themselves.
Yeah,
love Ra's al Ghul's character. Liam Neeson does such a good job. That whole scene. Then we go. Love just the start of that movie tells you why I like the movie so much. Him becoming Batman, and then him deciding to be Batman, and then his discussion with Alfred in the plane as he's going back to become Batman.
Oh yeah,
they need a symbol, right?
Yeah.
And yes.
What about the? Tell me, what did you think of the scene in the cave when they're talking about talking about like all the equipment, like how they're
I love Batman's equipment in the Dark Knight trilogy. I really like the look of it. I really like the functionality of it.
Does it give a more like real aspect to it?
Yes, he felt so like something out of this world, not some. Okay, that didn't sound right. He looked and like came from the world that we're living in. Like he felt so realistic. And that's what he wanted to be a symbol, like anybody could be Batman. And the fact that it felt like anybody in this world could be Batman, like just added so much to the storytelling aspect of it.
Yeah.
And then I really like Ra's al Ghul as a villain. I really like Scarecrow.
Oh yeah, Scarecrow. I actually kind of forgot about him.
Cillian Murphy is one of my favorite actors, and that was literally the first thing I ever saw him in, and he did such a good job.
Yeah.
It's really sad because like it's not really Scarecrow from the comics, and I really like Scarecrow from the comics, but he does still do a really good job of portraying this incredible villain.
Yeah.
I really, once again, like Batman wasn't necessarily Batman, but it wasn't like Batman from the comics that I, love, but he did do a really good job of playing a Batman for that universe. I really like his relationship with all the characters. Love Alfred. Love his relationship with Alfred, with Rachel. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And for me, I also wasn't the biggest fan of how Scarecrow wasn't really the main villain, because I think Scarecrow would be a great main villain.
Yeah.
But
so that kind of leads in. Oh, go ahead. I'll just let you finish before I
stop interrupting me. Yeah. So he wasn't into the main. So yeah, like I like Ra's al Ghul. I like Ra's al Ghul as the main villain in it. If they given Scarecrow more time to be Scarecrow in that would possibly push it pretty far up in my list. So
yeah, and that kind of like leads into why it's not number one, besides the fact that The Dark Knight is
do you want me to
single greatest movie made? But why it isn't number one, or what like my only really fault with it is kind of the end,
Oh, yes.
And the way they wrap up Scarecrow's ending for sure, kind of, it's so it's disappointing.
Mhm.
And then the whole Batman not killing but kills people thing is just the way it all wraps up is a little frustrating in my opinion. And then I do like the fact that Batman was kind of outwitted and then had to like scramble almost to like, I'm not, he thinks he's won and then he hasn't and then he has to. That was cool. That was cool. But the ending is kind of what keeps it from being
Okay.
better.
Well,
So what's your number one?
well, since I know what your number one is, because I've kind of guessed it.
Well, I know what your number one is.
What is it?
Batman Under the Red Hood.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. So, like I said, animated kind of hits me at just the right spot a lot more than live action. Like we've been saying, like it's a great movie. It's so smooth. It's like almost through the entire movie, right?
Yeah.
And even that, I think my favorite scene out of all animated Batman movies has to be that scene in that small room.
Yes, that is such a good scene.
Yeah, because they make you feel claustrophobic.
Yep.
You are terrified of what's going to happen.
Yep.
You don't know what's going to happen. It's great. Now, of course, I understand why you think Dark Knight should be above it, because I understand why, because like Joker really isn't Joker in it. Like, not in the Dark Knight. Sorry, in Under the Red Hood.
One could argue either way.
True. Yeah. Like, but I completely understand why you would think Dark Knight should be number one, because it is a great movie. Like, great movie. But yeah. Really fast, something we didn't talk about. What did you think of the scene where Joker has all the crime bosses in the bus?
Yeah. Oh, it's
Whatever vehicle, and he's gonna burn them alive.
Yeah, that was such a cool scene. Like the way they brought Joker into that movie, so well done. Where like they like needed somebody to take care of Red Hood. Very reminiscent of how Joker shows up in The Dark Knight, right?
Oh yeah.
The crime lords, and that's who Joker is, right? He's like this somebody just crazy enough he could defeat Batman type of thing, and they bring him in really well there. And then he, of course, turns on him because he's Joker.
He just is a crazy man.
He
never
just does what he wants to do, right?
He's a wild card.
And I really like that scene. I like how it shows Batman, like who Batman is. So well.
I don't know what it is about Under the Red Hood Batman, but just something about that Batman. It may be because he's older. He just seems so much more like not calm, but like knowledgeable.
And also that I really love in their depiction of Batman how he is like the complete opposite of the Joker, right?
Oh yeah,
it is such a good job of showing that, and like how he is like not going to break his rule. Yeah,
because if I cross that line, there's no coming back.
Exactly.
It's such a good movie. Like, and now, would you care to explain why you think The Dark Knight is better than Under the Red Hood?
The Dark Knight is the greatest Batman movie ever, and possibly the greatest movie ever. Casablanca is my favorite, but The Dark Knight is very, very close.
Wow.
It is nearly a perfect movie. I absolutely love Batman in it. Granted, his voice is a little hard to handle.
A little hard to understand at some points, but yeah.
But it's a Christopher Nolan movie. You got to be used to that. Christopher Nolan is just such a good director. The soundtrack is so good. The intro to that movie, fantastic. You're seeing just this bank heist, right? Just once again puts you in the real world. Like this could be somebody in the real world once again. And that first song that's in the background, building and building and building and building all the way until we see Batman finally show up in the vault talking to Gordon.
I do like how in the very first scenes how we see Joker, like we don't like how he is with his crew and
Yep.
the way he is just like he's quiet throughout that entire he's quiet, right? He's like his character is just completely quiet throughout the entire time he has the mask on until he just like
Well, basically, he does say a couple words.
okay.
Like
He definitely
I kill the bus driver. The bus driver.
Well, yeah, I'm saying basically from the point we see it
Yeah, he's basically silent.
isn't he the first character we see?
Of a kind.
Isn't he the first character we see standing on the road there? You sure?
No, we see the people on the roof first shoot the grapple across and slide across. Then we go to him standing on the roof. Unless there's a cut there, but I don't think there is.
Yeah, I don't remember like if we see because that's him standing on the sidewalk there, which is surprising because I with his makeup on and all that.
We don't see it.
Yeah, exactly. Like nobody's like questioning.
I see.
and
I
stuff.
see. I mean, it's kind of like shows like who he is, right? Like he's just in this city. These people who, look the other way for everything. That's kind of like his point, right? Everybody's like Gotham is so depraved that they're going to look the other way. They've been doing that for so long. Like,
yeah,
why is he any different type of a thing?
Yeah, yeah, and that's what makes Joker so good because he just makes everybody look at him and be like,
"Yep." So yeah, his introduction to the movie's spectacular, but then the way he gets involved in the story with the boss, with the mob bosses hiring him, so good. Such a great scene.
You want to see a magic trick?
Right. Then the tech of Batman, like we talked about him going to Hong Kong, coming back. Then we get, we'll just like jump ahead to my favorite Batman scene of all time is the interrogation scene.
Oh, really?
I can nearly quote the whole thing start to finish. It is so good. This is one reason this is like so high in my mind of like movies. This is one of the first movies that really got me to love movies. And when watching this movie, like I just wanted to keep rewatching it, but just like delve into the way it was made. The script, I've read the script so many times. It's just so well written. That scene is so good where you're just like seeing this, like the whole story of Batman in that movie is like a redemption story, right? Like he starts out as being broken down, being like not sure if he's going to be able to keep his role, right? Like he tells Alfred he thinks he has to become like the Joker to defeat the Joker. And that scene in the interrogation when he like decides like he can't, right? And he and you just like see the manipulative nature of the Joker and like how he's been he claims he doesn't have a plan, but he has this massive plan in the works. Just so well done. Christian Bale's acting in that movie is superb. Of course, Heath Ledger also does an incredible job. And then the way that they portray Alfred from the Batman Begins all into this movie, he like grounds him so well in reality. Absolutely fantastic job with Alfred. Gordon, crazy good job. Mount the curve. Then the ending of that movie is so good.
Did you like Two-Face in that movie, or
I really like the story arc of Two-Face. He's not Two-Face from the comics.
I was about to say
in the slightest.
He didn't seem like the Two-Face that I know, but
I really like his story arc. I love the like Joker breaking somebody down, like seeing like this person who we see as the White Knight, right? Like at the pinnacle of Gotham's goodness being just broken down, whereas Batman doesn't get broken down by Joker. Well, he does in ways, but he doesn't completely break like Two-Face does.
Yeah, which is amazing. Like
which what also makes the third movie so bad. But we won't get into that. Honorable mention: The Dark Knight Rises. Also honorable mention: the Batman. Anyways, I mean, I can talk about this movie for days. We'll probably have to do a movie review of it sometime. But
we should definitely do it to where, because I would love to do a movie review on The Dark Knight, and I would like to do a movie review on Batman Hush, just to give you guys what I feel like is a good movie.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. We can do, doing an animated movie would be really fun. Doing like
Yeah,
a couple of our favorite animated movies.
Yeah, or even you know what? Or even we could even do Under the Red Hood.
Oh my goodness, that'd be spectacular.
Maybe we should do that instead. That would be a great movie to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we're kind of running short on time, but
Yeah.
maybe we can do a couple of quick press conference little questions.
I've got two of them here.
All right.
You ready?
Born ready.
All right. Oh, here. There goes something.
I'm ready.
Don't you
Vengeance.
dare. All right. We're going to start with somebody who hopefully you won't get.
Shockingly to people, I'm not just a Marvel guy. So these are all DC.
Correct. They are
These are all DC characters.
They are DC characters.
Yeah. So people might be surprised, but I'm not just a Marvel guy. I am a huge DC fan as well. In fact, I was a DC fan before I was ever a Marvel fan.
Which is kind of surprising because of how much you love Winter Soldier and all that.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of, yeah, I should say I was a Batman fan, a little bit of a Superman fan, grew up a little bit on the old animated series of both of them, but a lot of Superman. And then, fell in love with Marvel, and then we're just going to talk about my life for a while. All right, anyways,
let's move on to this press conference here. So
I thought I was answering your question.
So you ready?
Born ready.
All right. So tell me, how did it feel to find out? Oh man, this is gonna be difficult because I haven't really figured out a good way of asking these questions. Tell me, how did it feel to trap your father and have him with you basically the entire time?
Pretty sure I know who this is. I mean, it was okay. This is tough question to answer though. There was parts of me that were glad he was going to be with me, but also like the way in which I had to go about doing it wasn't
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kosher, you might say.
Tell me what was going through your head when you left your father?
Sorry, the Pinocchio. Pinocchio trailer stuck in my head now.
We can talk about that at the after party. Trust me, this isn't Pinocchio in DC.
It's always hard to leave someone.
Do you have any idea who this is?
I feel like I should, but keep going.
I'm not giving you the best questions
That's right.
here. I apologize.
mean, you gotta be kind of vague.
Yeah. All right. Let me think here for a moment. Oh, how did it feel joining a team when you had such a different personality than this team is? I hope you understand the question.
Joining. I mean, wait. Okay. Joining a team, it's always fun to be part of a team, but yeah, my personality doesn't exactly mesh with theirs. So we have our squabbles. I go out and do my own thing. Sometimes I have to, but
all right. Did you ever feel like you should no, forgive me if I get this wrong in any way because I'm not exactly sure how this character does it, but I'm going to go ahead and just ask this question my way. Tell me, did you have any thoughts of like hiding the secret that your father is with you at all times?
Yeah, for sure. I didn't want to give that away. But I eventually learned to trust people and
Okay.
was able to tell some people. And some people just found it out because they are the greatest detective on earth.
All right. Tell me, did you have any thoughts when you were planning to, before you had your father with you, did you have any thoughts of when you were going back to join your father to save your team?
So I believe I'm Zatanna.
No.
Oh, she's the only one who has like a father that she like has to go back and like save. I'm really confused then. Dang, can't believe I got that wrong.
Wow. Shall I?
I must not know this character well.
Well, trust me, I may be doing it wrong.
So they have to be right.
Would
I'm
it
not the one
help
answering
that
the
I'm
question.
doing it from a lot of the animated movies? Because I don't know this character very well outside of the animated movies.
Dr. Fate doesn't have a father. Damien.
Do you not know this character very well?
I must not. I'm
Wow.
thinking through all the animated characters. Anyways, what was the question?
Oh, goodness. I have to redo it. How did it feel? What were your thoughts when you left your team to go help your father? Maybe this will help. Maybe I'll reword it a little bit. Basically, help your father come into the realm of Earth to take it over.
Oh, okay. What movie are you think? What animated movie? Are you
You may not
Right,
have seen
so
it, so
I'm Raven.
yes.
Okay.
It's what I was saying was from Teen Titans versus the Justice
Okay.
League.
Yeah, I have not seen that movie.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I have
Okay.
not seen that movie, but that's okay. That's okay. I should
don't know-
have got that when you were talking about like I know Raven's story. I should have had that right when you said your father. I was thinking the father was also a hero, so I was thinking of heroes that had
I
hero
was
fathers.
trying not to say.
Yeah, that was really well done. Yeah, I'm Raven. She's super cool. How did I feel when I left my team? I mean, I felt like I had betrayed them, but I felt like it's what I had to do.
Oh, there you go. All right. You ready for this next one?
I am ready.
All right. So tell me, how did it feel to join a very large group in the galaxy?
So when I became a Green Lantern,
Dag nabbit!
I'm guessing I'm Hal Jordan.
Yes.
All right.
Man, why are you so good at this?
Hey, the last one, it took me a while.
Man, I've got it. Next time.
You used the word galaxy. If you just said it's a large group, I probably would have thought Justice League first. But you said galaxy, it had to be Green Lantern, of course.
Is there any other group in the galaxy that?
And there's like the bounty hunter guys. There's not really though.
Okay. All right. Well, shall we move into upcoming before we run out of time?
Sure thing.
All right. Do you have anything or?
So we got a couple of new things that happened. First off, we got a new trailer for, new kind of trailer for Moon Knight.
Which you are doing a breakdown of?
I will be doing a Moon Knight trailer breakdown.
Just want to confirm that because I said it, and you know.
And then Miss Marvel trailer came out today, actually.
Oh,
Or yesterday, I guess, when this comes out. But and that was interesting. Anything you want to ask about that?
I do know from what I understand it. It's not animated, right? It's
No.
supposed to be a live action.
It's live action.
But I was hearing a rumor that it was going to be like Into the Spider-Verse or something style.
I mean, they do a lot of style things like that with speech bubbles above the head, like going into people's thoughts, showing it from a single person's perspective, and so certain characters are definitely skewed in the way they're viewed and stuff. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, that's all I wanted to know. I don't really want anything else said about this.
I'll just say it definitely looks interesting.
Okay.
Um,
Any signs of who coming in?
No.
No.
There isn't. They didn't show anybody anything except really just like following the main characters. So
Okay. If you don't know what we're talking about, I'm asking about Rogue.
yeah, I doubt she'll come in it. She might come in the Captain Marvel show or movie next year.
Okay.
The Marvels. And then on the news side of it, there's been reshoots apparently on Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Really?
Don't think it's going to delay the release date, but
we've already had so many movies being delayed and stuff like that.
it's already been delayed a bunch. I highly doubt it's going to delay it, but it does kind of aggravate me that they're doing this because I think I know exactly why, and it's unnecessary in my opinion. We also got some interesting talk from some of the writers and stuff. I'll talk about that a little bit more in the after party.
Okay.
But about who might end up being in it, who might not. And then still nothing's come out about. No trailer's been released, I should say, for Love and Thunder, which does make me think that might get delayed.
Really?
Because, like, it's getting, close to 100 days till it comes out, and it's like, yeah, they haven't had a trailer yet, and with the reshoots for Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, there's also apparently reshoots with Love and Thunder. Makes me think that actually might get delayed. I hope not, but it might.
Goodness, so many movies getting delayed.
And then, I think I did talk about this last week, but there was the Netflix stuff is coming to Disney.
Yep, coming to Disney Plus, which
week.
I'm actually excited for because now I can finally watch them.
Right. Yep, but we're only a couple weeks out from
Moon
Knight,
which
and Morbius.
Oh yeah, Morbius. Gotta watch Morbius. Okay. Well, if you want what I have, I've got some interesting stuff. First off, nothing on Andor, not really anything on Bad Batch or Mandalorian. But I do have something on Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't know if I said this in the last episode. I don't think I did. A trailer has been released. Watched it. Kind of disappointing of what they did in some of the stuff. Because we all know how Cad Bane looked. Not the original Cad Bane, but still, it was Cad Bane. But they are going to be messing up. They are going to not be doing something with an Inquisitor that's going to show up from one of the animated series.
Okay.
Kind of disappointing, in my opinion. Like, I'm tired of them ruining a lot of the character looks.
Right.
So, I know it's hard I know it can be difficult to move an animated character to live action if they're in the same universe and all that, but still, come on. Yeah, nothing else other than that. Like, it's Star Wars. What do you expect? I'm sorry. I know I'm a big fan of Star Wars. I shouldn't say that.
Well, if it's what it shows, it's what it shows. All right. Anything else you want to say on that?
No.
Oh, I guess I should say with Miss Marvel, we did get a release date. June 8th is when it's supposed to be coming
June.
out.
Wow, that's
so it's going to be the one in June, which means She-Hulk's probably coming out August.
Wow, that's a little sooner than I was expecting.
Yeah.
I was expecting kind of in July or something.
Right. Which then if Love and Thunder gets delayed, maybe She-Hulk will be July. But I don't know. We'll see.
All right. Well, shall we move into Back and Forth upcoming?
Yep. So upcoming next week for Back and Forth will be our last show before Moon Knight comes out. So we're going to be doing a little preview look at it, kind of give our expectations of what
I expect Moon Knight to be in it.
What we hope for, what we expect. I'll be giving a little bit of what I know from the comics about what I hope that they bring for the comics, what I hope they don't, type of a thing.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
Yep. And also keep your eyes open for the Morbius trailer breakdown that I will be releasing hopefully this week, possibly by the weekend here. Yeah, that needs to come out right now. I understand. And also keep your eyes open for which Rogue Gambit here needs to get Multiverse of Madness and Moon Knight out.
Yeah, Moon Knight will be coming out hopefully next week, or will be coming out next week. I just have to find the time for it. And then Multiverse of Madness shortly after that, probably.
All right, perfect.
All right, well, see y'all next week.
Don't put yourselves inside a box.